the 26th of May, 2026, Tuesday morning. A reading from the Common Buddhist Guidance and Insight from the Buddha. Chief editor of this compilation is Dr. Mahadhamma Kosajan. We are currently in chapter 8 from the perspective of the Theravada tradition on meditation. We are picking up on the four Brahma Viharas, concentration on the four limitless qualities: loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy, and equanimity. This passage concerns the concentrative cultivation of what are known as the four limited qualities, or the Brahma Viharas, as when fully developed, they are of limitless scope, breaking down the barriers between oneself and all other beings. They are also known as the Brahma Viharas, meaning divine beings, that when developed to a high degree, bring a mental state akin to that of the Brahma deities, and which lead to the rebirth at their levels, if one does not attain awakening in this present life. He abides pervading one direction with a mind imbued with loving kindness, extensive, lawfully unlimited, free from envy, free from malice, and so the second, and so the third, and so to the fourth direction, as thus the entire world, everywhere, above and below, to the nether and to the zenith, across the relation to every individual living being. Just vipassanā, as a mighty blower of the conch shell makes himself heard in the four directions without much difficulty. Similarly, when loving kindness is so developed, whatever action is applied within a circumscribed range, it does not restrain in that context. It does not stay in that context. This too, vipassanā, is the path leading to the union with Brahma. Further, vipassanā, a monk abides pervading one direction with the mind imbued with compassion, the entire world, with a mind imbued with empathetic joy, with a mind imbued with equanimity. This too, vipassanā, a path leading to union with Brahma. This passage is cited in the Tevijja Sutra, Dika Nikaya, Volume 1, page 250 to 251. The shining mind in loving kindness. The first of these passages comes immediately after the passage that suggesting that loving kindness is the quality of the brightly shining mind, a point then reinforced by the second passage. If a monk were to cultivate the emancipation of the mind by loving kindness, even for the duration of the snapping of the fingers, such a monk is called one who is abiding not empty of concentration, meditation, absorption, jhana, practicing the message of the teacher, practicing in accordance with the teacher's advice, partaking of alms food of the land, not in vain, but to speak of those who practice it intensely. This is cited as Achara Sankata Vaga Sutra 3, Anguttara Nikaya, Volume 1, verse 10. The liberation of the mind by loving kindness shines and grows and radiates like the radiance of the moon, Chanda. This is cited in the Metta Pavana Sutra, Iti Vuttaka 19 through 20. The fourth foundation of mindfulness, satipaṭṭhāna, as ways to cultivate vipassanā and samatha, technique meditation. The fourth foundation of mindfulness, satipaṭṭhāna, as the direct way to liberation. This passage concerns a critical kind of concentration practice developed by Gautama Buddha. The four satipaṭṭhānas are foundations or application of the mind. Sati, mindfulness. These are calmly observed and note various qualities of the body, kaya, of feeling, vedana, of mental state, citta, and reality patterns of Dhamma. The latter being Ki's mental and physical process according to Gautama Buddha's analysis of reality as Dhamma. As repeated refrain concerns contemplations of the relevant qualities as it arises and as it ceases, both internally within oneself and externally, which may mean in the other persons. The practice of the fourth foundation of mindfulness, satipaṭṭhāna, is sometimes equated with vipassanā meditation or insight meditation. But in fact, it is relevant to both samatha meditation and vipassana. Samatha is calm or tranquility meditation, and vipassana is insight, each of which requires strong mindfulness. The various objects of contemplation described in the sutra perhaps comprise the earliest Buddhist list of concentration objects. They can be the objects of focused attention on calm or discerning insight, or both. The ones under the reality patterns heading are particularly linked to insight. In the particular technique of sitting, a meditator may focus on only one of the objects or several. These contemplations described here help to suspend the 5 hindrances of the mind. Once this is done, they may be utilized in one of the 4 ways. This is cited in the Anguttara Nikaya, Volume 2, page 156 to 158. They may be used to develop the 4 absorptions of jhana, concentrated meditation absorptions, with an emphasis on tranquility, samatha. Before being opened out to observe in insight or the insight mode of vipassana, they may continue to be applied on the brink of the first meditation absorption, with emphasis on insight. Although allowing the absorption to develop in time, they may be used to develop the absorptions through applying insight to each before moving on to the next. They may be done in a purely insightful mode without entering the absorption. In recent years, sati mindfulness has been a popular idea and a secular adaptation of its being applied in many spheres, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. These take certain aspects from the full spectrum of Buddhist mindfulness as a way to help people stand back from their thoughts and feelings so as to calmly observe them and not be drawn into the negative thought patterns. The emphasis here is on the non-judgmental awareness of the present experiences and thoughts. This is an important aspect of Buddhist sati, mindfulness, though this also includes clear recollection of past and the beneficial qualities and teachings. Cultivating a discerning, thorough, non-blaming recognition of the difference between harmful and helpful states of mind is also important. The 8-week course in the secular mindfulness has been criticized for not going very deep. Through a course of Buddhist mindfulness can also only go far in 8 weeks. At one time, the Blessed One Gautama, the Buddha, was living amongst the Kuru people in a hamlet named Vipassanā in the Kuru country in Bharat, ancient India. There, the Blessed One addressed the monks. Monks, this is the direct way for the purification of beings, for the ending of grief and lamentation, for the ending of pain and unhappiness, for attaining understanding, and for the realization of nibbida. That is the 4 foundation of sati. What for? Here, monks, mindfulness of the body on breathing. A monk abides in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body possessed of effort, vidya, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing intense desire for and unhappiness with the world. He abides in respect of vedana, feeling, reflectively observing feelings, possessed of effort. In respect of the mind, reflectively observing mind, possessed of effort. In respect of reality patterns, reflectively observing reality patterns, possessed of effort. Monks, how does a monk abide in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body? Here the monk gone to the forest, to the foot of a tree, or to an empty house, sits cross-legged, the body erect and mindfulness established in front. He breathes in mindfully, breathes out mindfully. Breathing long, he wisely knows, I breathe in long. Breathing out long, he wisely knows, I breathe out long. Breathing in short, he wisely knows, I breathe in short. Breathing out short, he wisely knows, I breathe out short. He trains reflectively experiencing the entire body. I breathe in, reflectively experiencing the entire body. I breathe out. He trains calming the bodily activity. I breathe in, calming the bodily activities. I breathe out. Just as a cleaver turner on his apprentice making a long turn wisely knows, I pull it long. And making a short turn wisely knows, I pull it in short. In the same manner, breathing in long, he knows, I breathe in long. Breathing out long, he knows, I breathe out long. Breathing in short, he wisely knows, I breathe in short. Breathing out short, he wisely knows, breathe out short. He trains, calming the bodily activity, I breathe in. Calming the bodily activity, I breathe out. Thus he abides in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body internally. Or he abides in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body externally. Or he abides in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body internally and externally. Or he abides reflectively observing the arising nature of the body, or the passing away of nature in the body, or the arising and the passing away of nature in the body. Or for him, mindfulness is established to the effect there is the body. Merely to the extent of knowing, to the extent of reflective mindfulness, he abides unattached and does not grasp anything in the world. In this, monks abides in respect of the body, reflectively observing the body. Mindfulness of the body, postures, movements, bodily parts, and elements. Monks. Further, a monk, while going, wisely know, I am going. While standing, wisely know, I am standing. While sitting, wisely know, I'm sitting. While lying, wisely know, I am lying. Whatever posture the body maintains, that he knows wisely, thus, monks. Further, a monk acts with clear comprehension when going forward or turning back, looking on and looking around, bending or stretching. He acts with clear comprehension when bearing the outer robe, the bowl and inner robes, when eating, drinking, biting, and tasting, when attending to the calls of nature, when gone, having stood, having sat, having laid down, having woken up, having spoken, when being silent. Monks. Further, a monk reflectively considers this body up from the soles of the feet, down from the hair of the head, surrounded by the skin full of various impurities, as there are in this body hairhead, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, veins, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, lungs, lower intestines, bowel, stomach, excrement, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, eye, secretion, saliva, snot, oil of the joints, and urine. Just like a bag of provisions having openings on both ends is filled up with various grains such as rice, paddy, green grams, beans, sesames, and fine rice. A man who has sight would untie it and see reflectively. This is rice, this paddy, this green gram, this bean, this sesame, and the fine rice. Similarly, a monk reflectively sees the body up from the soles to the feet. Monks. Further, a monk reflectively considers the body in whatever posture it is in. In terms of elements, there are in this body the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. Just as a clever butcher or his apprentice would be seated in the hut at a place where 4 highways cross, having slaughtered a cow and dissected it into separate parts. Similarly, a monk reflectively sees this body in terms of its elements. Mindfulness of the body, a corpse in its stages of decay. Monks. Further, a monk draws the parallel concerning this body itself with the body that could be seen cast away in the charnel ground. Dead 1 day, 2 days, dead 3 days ago, bloated, turned blue, festering. He draws a parallel with the same body as this body too has the same nature. It's liable to be like that, does not transcend that. Monks. Further, a monk, as he would see a body cast away in the charnel ground, being eaten by crows, hawks, and virtues, dogs, foxes, and by numerous kinds of vermin, he draws the parallel with his same body as this body too has the same nature. Monks. Further, a monk, as he would see the body cast away in the charnel ground, a skeleton with flesh and blood, connected veins, a skeleton without flesh, smeared with blood, connected with veins, a skeleton without flesh, blood, connected with veins, a disconnected skeleton with bones scattered everywhere, the hand bone in one location, the foot bone in another, the knee bone in another, the thigh bone in another, the hip bone in another, the backbone in another, and the skull in another location. He draws a parallel with the same body. This body too has the same nature. Monks, further a monk, as he would see the body cast away in the charnel ground, the bones become white, the color of the conch shell. The bones over a year old, heaped up, the bones rotten and becoming powder. He draws a parallel with the same body. This body too has the same nature. Mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of the mind, mindfulness of reality patterns. Monks, when a monk abide in the respect of feeling, reflectively observing the feelings, here monks, a monk while experiencing the pleasant feeling knows, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling. While experiencing a painful feeling, wisely knows, I am experiencing a painful feeling. While experiencing a feeling neither unpleasant nor pleasant, wisely know, I am experiencing a feeling unpleasant or pleasant. While experiencing a pleasant feeling associating with material things, he knows, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling associated with material things, or while experiencing a pleasurable non-associated with material things, wisely knows, I'm experiencing a pleasant feeling not associated with material things, or while experiencing an unpleasant feeling associated with material things, not associated with material things, and while experiencing a feeling neither unpleasant nor pleasant associated with material things, not associated with material things, wisely know. Monks, how does a monk abide in respect of the mind, reflectively observing the mind? Here a monk wisely knows the state of the mind, having attachment as. It is the mind having attachment, or a mind freed from attachment, he wisely knows. It is a mind free from attachment. Likewise, for hatred and delusion, a mind that is crammed, as wisely knows. It is a mind that is crammed or a mind that is scattered. He wisely knows. It is a mind that is scattered or a mind that has become great through meditation development. He wisely knows. It is a mind that has become great or a mind that has not become great. He wisely knows. It is not the mind that becomes great. He wisely knows. It is not mind that has become great or the mind for which superior mode is found. He wisely knows, as it is the mind for which his superior mode is found, or the mind which his superior mode is found, he wisely knows. It is the mind for which no superior mode is found, or composed mind, he wisely knows that it is a composed mind, or the mind composed, he wisely knows it is the mind not composed, or a free mind, he knows as it is a freed mind, or the mind not freed, he wisely knows, as it is the mind not freed. Monks, how does a monk abide in respect to the reality patterns, reflectively observing reality patterns? Here a monk abides respect to the 5 hindrances. Here, monks, a monk having seen or not having central desire within, he wisely knows there is no central desire within me. He also wisely knows how central desire has not arisen, is likely to arise, as well how central desires that are already arisen is likely to be abandoned, and how abandoned central desire is likely not to arise again. In the same way, he knows about the 4 hindrances: ill will, dullness, lethargy, restlessness, worry, vexillation. Further, a monk abides in respect of reality patterns, reflectively observing reality patterns with regard to the 5 grasped at categories of existence. And how? Here the monk abides observing, this is the material form, rupa. This is the arising of material form, rupa. This is the end of the material form, rupa. Likewise, for feeling, for perception, for volitional activities, and for consciousness. So vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana. Furthermore, a monk respectively reality patterns, reflectively observing reality patterns with regard to the 6 internal and external spheres of sense, ayatana. Here monks, a monk wisely know the eyes, wisely know the visual forms, whether fetter occurs depending upon the two. That too he knows wisely. He also wisely knows how a fetter that has not arisen is likely to arise, how a fetter that has already arisen is likely to be abandoned, how a fetter is a mental hindrances, abide, has been abandoned, is not likely to arise. He wisely knows in the same way about the ear, sound, nose, smells, tongues, and tastes, body and tactile sensations, minds and objects. Refrain further monks, a monk abides in the respect of reality pattern, reflectively observing the reality patterns with regard to the 7 factors of awakening, sambojana, and how here a monk, while the awakening factor of mindfulness is found within, wisely knows. The awakened factor of mindfulness is there within me. He also wisely knows how the awakening factor of mindfulness that has not yet arisen is likely to arise, as well as how it is likely that the awakening of the factor of mindfulness that has arisen become perfect through cultivation. He knows the same way about the other factors of awakening, investigation of Dhamma, vigor, joy, tranquility, meditative concentration, and equanimity. Further, a monk abides in respect of the reality patterns, reflectively observing the reality patterns in regard to the 4 truths of the noble ones, and how, here monks, a monk wisely knows that it has come to be. This is the painful. This is the origin of the painful. This is the cessation of the painful. This is the way leading to the cessation of the painful. This verse can be found in depth in the Satipaṭṭhāna Sutra, Majjhima Nikaya, Volume 1, 55 through 62. We'll leave off there today on Chapter 8 on meditation from the perspective of the Theravada tradition, as we pick up on the next one on anapanasati, meaning mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness of the breathing or the breath. A common Buddhist text, guidance and insight from the Buddha. Chief editor of this compilation is Dr. Mahadhamma Kosachan,